Ei, amor, tudo bem? Deixa eu colocar o outro fone aqui, peraí. Tudo já com você? Eu tô trazendo aqui esse jogo, que é o What Remains of Edith Finch, que é um jogo curto, porque eu acho que seria melhor fazer um jogo de stream completo. E também porque é um jogo que contém mais história do que a gameplay, que era uma coisa que tava me deixando aflito no último jogo que eu joguei com você, que foi o Kena, que eu vou terminar ainda um dia, mas que tava ficando aflito porque era mais combate, e eu acho que você não ia se interessar por aqueles combates e aqueles puzzles demorados e tal. Eu acredito que você não tava gostando tanto assim, não. Porque eu não gostaria de ver só gameplay. Eu acho que eu gostaria mais de uma boa história. E pelo que eu vi, esse jogo tem uma boa história. Então eu vou tentar fazer ele todo com você em 4 partes, porque ele demora mais ou menos umas 4 horas pra terminar. 4 partes de 1 hora. Vapo. Acho que vai ser assim. Se eu for um pouco lerdo, não sei se vai ser assim 100%, né? Mas eu vou tentar terminar ele em 4 horas. Beleza? Então tá bom. Deixa eu só testar aqui pra ver se tá a live em andamento já. Está. Beleza. Cem por cento. Vambora. Colocar aquilo play nela só pra ver se tá tudo certo. Vambora. Não sei muito sobre o que é esse jogo, mas eu sei que ele é sobre resolver um mistério. Provavelmente deve ter a ver com esse Edith Finch. Então vamos lá.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Vou começar do começo com a casa. Ok. Pensei que ela ia ler boa parte do livro, mas já começou assim. Engraçadinho.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Ores Island Gazette. Ok. Clico no R2.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Deveria pegar essas contas, não? Tudo bem.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
O irmão dela morreu. Som d'água. Deixa eu arrumar minhas costas.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Parece que sim. Eu vou por cima ou por baixo? Dá pra ir por baixo? Vou ir por baixo.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it.
Ela é
But now I
herdeira.
had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Eu pinguei ela.
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent. As if they're about to say something, but never do.
Quando eu fazia caminhada com meu pai, assim, pelas matas, tinham muitas pinguelas daquela. Missing. Tem como agachar? Milton Finch. Esse é o irmãozinho dela, será que morreu? Mais um.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it. As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
Acho que ela não gostava tanto dessa casa, não. É um lugar bonito, uma casa bem engraçada.
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Qual é? Se for jogo de terror, aí é foda.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
Ah, que beleza.
Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Ah, aqueles negócios de subir escada. Só tem isso em casa de americano, né? Essas cadeirinhas de subir escada. Tá. Eu vi uma garagem ali. Talvez eu consiga vir por aqui. Ai, peraí. Só ver o negócio ali na laje se tá dando tudo certo. É, acho que tá. Você pula, moça? Porque ela não pula, não. Eu não li o que ela falou quando eu cheguei ali na garagem. Não ouvi também. Correr ela não corre não, né? Só anda. A barriguinha dela. Deve ser aqui atrás. Acho que é aqui.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Aqui é a luzinha
The
aqui.
power had been turned off the night we left.
Aí é foda. Tá bem limpo, né? Pra uma casa abandonada. Tá bem limpo. Quer dizer, bem limpo é exagero, mas... (2010) Caramba, 2010. Você tinha 6 anos?
I felt like I was home.
É. Aqui já tá com cara de
But
abandonada
instead
já.
of a family, there were just memories of one.
Edith, Ed, Lewis e Dawn. Edith Finch. Lewis Finch. In Loving Memory. 21 November 2010. 7 de dezembro de 1988. Beloved brothers to Edith, son of Dawn, great-grandson of Eddie. Eddie Finch? Família Finch. Não dá pra sair clicando nessas
Like how
coisas.
only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
No customer is too far. Ok. Que ventania.
Or how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it. Like a smile with too many teeth.
É, realmente tem muita coisa aqui. Olha esses livros. Que é isso?
A lot of
Bonito
things
esse
got
jogo.
left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
Última noite foi tipo ontem? Ou última noite vocês estavam aqui? Não entendi não, amiga. Não vou subir agora não.
Great Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Chega?
Mom always told
chega.
me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Ah, qual é? Qual é? Tem um porão. Isso não é bom, o porão nunca é bom. Ainda bem que eu não tenho a chave pra isso. Uma televisãozinha de plasma. Bem de sítio essa mesinha aqui. Então, Finch, living room. Tá bom.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
À noite fomos embora.
It
Então
was
não é
like a
ontem.
bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
Isso é muito dramático, vai, amiga.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
Nossa, deixaram até um macarrãozinho aqui. O que rolou que esse povo tem que sair correndo desse jeito? Olha. Ed. Qual é? Deixaram o celular aqui. Isso é um celular? Olha o negócio de botar um celular. Ela não vai olhar isso? Tá, né? Beleza, acho que eu vi tudo que tinha que olhar aqui embaixo. Esses barulhos. Que é isso, hein?
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
Mas tem como entrar nela? Não tem. Está trancado. Agora que eu vi. Com cola. Bizarro. Com licença, cadeirinha.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Isso é bizarro. Não achei legal.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Era uma atriz. Barbara Finch. Parece que sim. Olha só. Será que esses livros são reais? Pacific Seafood DLF. Eita, tem uma escada aqui. Agora que eu vi. Bárbara. Nossa, que tanto de imagem.
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house.
Ok. O que tem aqui da Bárbara?
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
Hum. 1944 até 1960. Uma foto da mãe. A mãe? Quem é essa? Deve ser a mãe, né? Porra, tá tudo com cola. Tinha mais alguma coisa que não tinha? Pra cá. Calvin.
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
Não gostei. Como assim, Dead Brother? Como assim? Gregory.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
Achava que todas as casas tinham. Não, amiga, isso é muito estranho. Será que essa história é real?
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Você não tem a chave? O que é isso aqui? Sven e Ed.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Sven Hofstad Finch. E Ed. 2010. Isso é a morte deles. Gregory. Calvin. 11 anos de vida. Isso não tá legal, não gostei. Esse povo todo morreu, é isso? Eita, que é aquilo ali? Molly.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
É isso mesmo. O povo morreu mesmo. Aí, olha. Como é que pode o povo morrer tanto assim? Tão cedo. Esse Ed aí foi o que mais viveu, porque o resto aqui... Olha isso aqui, mano. O cara veio 1 ano. Cara. Uma criança. Isso é um banheiro. Isso não é nem um quarto. Então quando a pessoa morria, eles trancavam o quarto. Eu não vi o que estava escrito ali. Tá, né?
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
É o único que não é lacrado, era esse?
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Vamos tentar a chave. Opa, ela abriu.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
Caramba.
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan.
Milton. Que mistério é
But I
esse?
had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Amiga, eu também não faço a mínima ideia, brother. Tá começando a ficar meio
I
com
grew up
medo.
looking at Molly's room through the peephole.
Molly. Uma estrela do mar. Faquinha Tramontina. Que porra é essa? Dezembro de 1947. Puta que pariu. Tinha acabado de rolar a guerra. E aí, amigo, você não vai fuçar nas coisas não, ah, tá? Molly Finch, é o diário dela?
December
Querido
13th,
diário.
1947.
Ah, a voz dela.
Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Comeu uma cenourinha do Quay. O que rolou aqui? Estamos em 1947.
I kept eating and eating.
Não! Não! Por quê? Se afasta do vaso.
I ate a lot of things that night.
Isso nem é de verdade, não é? Isso é de mentira.
Then I heard chirping outside my window.
É um passarinho.
It was a barn swallow going back to her nest.
Uhum.
I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat.
É, foi um gatinho. Cadê a pata? Não tem pata. O que eu faço? O que eu faço? Ah.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Tô jogando Stray em primeira pessoa agora. Tem que ir até ele? Acho que sim, né? Eita, olha ali. 1947. Que foi? Cadê? Cadê? Ah, tá pra cá.
I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
Como assim?
Rabbits.
Cadê eles? Nossa, que difícil de controlar. Olha eles aqui, ó. Vai, vai, vai. Pegou, fi.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit.
Jesus Cristo.
Then I flew off to find something bigger.
Cara, essa menina tá viajando,
A
mano.
mama rabbit.
Mama Rabbit. Peguei também.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
Tá fora d'água. É, nós vamos morrer, né, velho?
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Ah. Caralho.
I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Caralho. Tá ali. Cadê? Sumiu. Sumiu. Qual é, pô? Sumiu. Fudeu, filho, eu acho que nem fudeu. Achei.
I grabbed on tight. When I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Now I was a monster. monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
Eu pensei que era uma conexão com os animais. Os monstros.
I was big, and I moved real quiet. I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Vai. Esse cara tá aqui embaixo. Não tá? Não, tô viajando. Eu vim aqui à toa. Deixa eu subir de novo. Pô, tô ouvindo a voz dele aqui. Vamos lá, vamos reto. Ah, tá, ele tá ali. Nossa senhora. Esse trem me assusta, brother. Tá doido.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
Eita.
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Que porra é essa? Ah, que horrível. Esse é o quarto dela, né? É o quarto dela.
All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, that was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to be, and we both know I will be delicious.
Credo. Tá porra. Eita porra.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Quem é Edie? Ah, The Finches. Ok. Edith. Morreu todo mundo? Porra. Só não morreu os que estão na folhinha ali, né? Molly. Ô, véi. Acho que ela foi de base.
I got the sense
Oh,
Edie had
monstro.
spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
Pô, ela era bonitinha. A voz dela era fofa.
I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here,
Sim, o quarto dela. Ou você tá falando do monstro, amiga. Que aí eu vou ficar bem triste.
Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
Engraçado. Isso é fofo. A corujona aqui. Pá. Eita. Coruja. E o coelho? É. Sei lá. E o que é isso? É. Aqui que estávamos de
This will be
gatinho.
obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Ok. Talvez não era um gato, né? Talvez era outra coisa.
I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. We got along, and it was a good place to hide from my mom.
Ok.
Even in her 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Edie. Walter, Calvin, Sam, Barbara, Molly. O que é isso? Um ovo.
Her room is like a museum.
Que isso?
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune. And misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan.
Então todo mundo tem essa maldição. Por que você tá viva há tanto tempo?
On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind.
Caralho.
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Que foto é essa? Quem tirou essa foto?
Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Ok.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
É. 1880. Odin. Ingeborg. O que é Ingeborg? Os mistérios da morte. Thereafter. Tipo. E depois. Odin Finch. Então é dele, Odin. Odin, na verdade. Né? Odin Finch. Ele era um escritor. É, tem muito livro nessa casa.
Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
Luvas. Verdade, ela tá usando uma luva. Por quê?
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
Em 1967 por Raven Finch.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
A little forest fire. É uma gripezinha.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Dragon kills Finch. Mais uma tragédia. Que tanto de tragédia. Whoa. Isso
The
aqui.
only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
Pai Sven and Eddie Finch.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Oh. Fotos. Isso aqui lembra Stranger
Sven gave
Things.
Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Lembra Stranger Things. Das fotinhas do jornal. Calvin Finch. 1950 até 1951. Esse aqui durou muito pouco. Murder Pro Close Exhausted. Milton. Essa aqui é uma passagem. A musiquinha. Endless Fight. Orin Finch National Park.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin.
1958. 1968. Ah, que triste. 1961 ele morreu.
And that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Calvin, 11 anos.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Pezinho quebrado.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't.
E aí, como que sai do balanço? Como que sai do balanço? Não? Triângulo para o jogo. Que é aquela luzinha ali, vai? Não é a primeira vez que eu vejo ela. Opa, tem um carinha ali do lado. Não tinha visto que ele tava ali. Será que eu tenho que... Tem que ir rápido. Deixa eu tentar o mais rápido possível já. E agora? E agora, jogo? O que eu faço? Acho que não tem como ir mais rápido que isso. O que eu tenho que fazer? Ah! Entendi. São as duas pernas, os dois analógicos. Agora que eu entendi, velho. Agora sim.
I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Ah, qual é que ele vai se matar desse jeito?
Calvin, dinner's ready. Coming.
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible.
Ah, qual é?
Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it.
Caralho.
I think he'd already made up his mind.
Eu não quero matar essa
That's
criança.
what I want to remember about my brother. The
Tadinho.
day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Meu Deus. Caralho, velho. Deu um frio na barriga essa porra.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Eu também, mas eu não consegui fazer isso não. Graças a Deus. Caramba. Ok, fecha aí. Vamos lá.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Tô com um pouco de adrenalina ainda de ter voado daquele jeito. Tem uma saída aqui, né? Ok, puxa. Qual que puxa? Parece pesado.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Ok, tem a saída aqui, mas eu quero vir pra cá. Quarto da
Growing
Bárbara.
up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Caramba, isso aqui deve estar podre. Dreadful Stories, Quest Starring Barbara Finch. Parece que ela tava grande aqui.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Aqui, ó.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box.
Tem que rodar
And as
até
she
dar ruim.
found the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Eu já vi no segundo quadrinho que já dá merda.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
Hey,
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
I'm
fofo.
not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then
Deu ruim.
act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the Late Late Picture Show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Deu ruim. De novo? Porra de casa assustadora é essa?
Walter, are you there? Walter vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Oh.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless.
Ela não gritou.
He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
É, tem uma saída secreta. Aqui.
That night, she played her part beautifully. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned.
Toma. Eita.
He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
E agora? Pra cá. Ela não morreu ainda, né? Sabemos que a querida morre. É.
Had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was... At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Eita, nós.
Oh dear.
Ah, não.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear.
Eita.
Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Eita. Caramba.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Ok. Bárbara. Isso aí foi loucura, tá? Maluquice total. Cadê, gente? Como é que sai daqui? Ah, é. Vou voltar pra caixa.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Pra cima.
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
É. Vamos pro porão. Não vai ter jeito. Aquele porão parecia naquela revista em quadrinho bem bizarro. Vamos ver. Tá ficando de noite, né? No jogo. Rodar. Será que da primeira vez, se eu fizesse isso, eu conseguiria pegar a chave? Conseguiria pegar a chave. Vamos descer.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Injeção antitetânica.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Barulheira.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories...
Uou, que tanto de coisa aqui.
I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Walter. Ele até viveu bastante. Foi o que mais viveu, né, pelo jeito. 2005. Quer dizer, depois daquela...
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
Caramba.
Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. maybe I just got tired of being afraid.
2005 já. Meu ano da morte.
It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave. Well, I still can.
Pra onde vou? Pra onde vamos? Pra cá não dá. Ah. Pô, que tristeza, ele saiu e já morreu.
I know it's out there, somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with one more day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Não. Não.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
Caralho, Prato. Que triste. Por que ele morreu assim? Falta o Eddie, Sam, Gregory, Gus, Dawn, Newton and Lewis. Olha.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Por que esse povo continua tendo filhos? Muitos filhos. Mesmo sabendo que tava tudo dando merda.
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding.
É. Isso faz sentido.
I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Sério? Achei engraçado essa interpretação dela. Porra. Mas não é possível que seja só isso, não?
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. and the history you're a part of.
Pra onde estamos indo? Será que é pra ir pra lá mesmo?
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth. And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
Ela tem uma delicadeza, né? Tipo, eu só passaria por cima disso aqui. A maioria dos jogos, grande maioria dos jogos em primeira pessoa tem a opção de pular. Esse aqui não tem. Bem contemplativo, bonitinho.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Nossa, que tanto de gente ali.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one.
Ah, isso aqui é dos...
3 of the gerbils are mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Gerbils, que é isso? Tem uns ali que viveram mais que os humanos, velho.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
A Edie fechou bastante.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
Bonito.
She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
Agora a gente vai descobrir o que é aquilo ali.
Edie
Gostaria.
said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Ah, casa antiga. Cuidado aí, filho, pra não cair.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Sam Finch. Esse aqui... Nossa, cara. Ele não viveu nem um aninho. Não, viveu. Viveu 1 ano e pouquinho.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Nossa, ela deve ter ficado doida, a mãe dela. Maluco, isso deve deixar todo mundo
There's
muito
so many
maluco.
things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Ela tá grávida agora? É por isso que tá com a barriguinha? Pensei que era só uma questão. Pensei que era só uma questão de perspectiva, assim. Se você olha pra sua barriga, ela... Deixa eu ver. É... Ah, não parece tanto. 22 semanas é quanto? 22 dividido por 4. Quanto que dá isso? Onde fica a calculadora? Que isso, velho? 5,5. Por que eu tive que pesquisar? Que usar a calculadora pra isso? É quase 6 meses. Parece pequeno, não sei.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
Yeah.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Sam. Vai ser 50 até 83.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
What? Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? Please just take the damn picture.
Hey, language.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
Nossa.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Baixei o brilho, mano.
Just be careful. The camera's older than you are.
Bonitinho.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Nossa senhora. O que eu preciso tirar foto aqui? Musiquinha boa. Ah, os passarinhos. E do que eu tenho que tirar foto, gente? Tirei foto do passarinho. Tirei foto da ilha. E aí? Ah, pra cá. Uma muleta.
Nothing quite like being outside.
O cara tá mijando.
Oop, a little more gas in the tank, I guess.
E aí? Só que é pro lado de cá agora. Opa! Passarinho.
Aw.
Tirei tantas fotos desse passarinho. Meu pai tinha uma câmera assim. Acho que ele tem ainda.
Hold still while I take a picture of you.
I definitely won't be moving.
Are you done?
Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Don, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph? Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time. Give me a minute to check the map. Let's see.
Dad!
Good eyes, Don. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Focus on your target. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you need to be strong. Great shot, Don!
Nossa. Bem na hora. Bigodinho dele. Eita. Ela ficou triste.
I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay?
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
so...
normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad! Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Nossa. Nossa. Qual é? Os gêmeos ali. Fotinho. Ah, qual é? Paia. Tudo nessas... Tudo isso aqui é paia, pô. Que tristeza. O jeito que ele morreu. A foto. Paia. Ó. Caramba, todo mundo aqui morre muito tragicamente, cara. Que isso. Amor, com isso eu termino o primeiro episódio. Era pra ficar 1 hora, mas eu me interessei bastante aqui nesse jogo, nessa história. Que história legal, velho. Que
Instead
interessante.
of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
É. As Finch. Nossa, coitada da filha dele, velho. Coitada. É isso, amor. Até o próximo episódio. Tchau, tchau. Eu vou criar uma playlist pra esse jogo, mas eu já demorei 1h30 agora, 1h26 por aí. Acho que a gente pode terminar até em 3 episódios este joguinho. Achei muito legal. É contemplativo, mas é bem bonito, bem legal. Essa história parece que vai render ainda. E é isso. Tem como salvar? Não. É isso aí. Tchau, tchau, meu amor. Te amo. Beijo. Até a próxima. Quando sair novo episódio eu te falo aqui, mas já devo gravar na semana que vem já.